Hi, I'm Michael, your handyman, and in today's segment, we're going to be dealing with a snowblower that is giving our homeowner a problem. So we're going to get to the bottom of that and focus in on that. Here is our snowblower by Power Smart. The snowblower, I guess the auger is not moving, or it was seized up. He said that it was no problem with the engine, but we're going to test that and just see. But what we're going to do is we're first going to look it over, give a visual inspection of the snowblower. Okay, and in fact, this is the snowblower we worked on, I want to say, not too long ago. And the reason I say that is because as you take notice of the snowblower engine is the 212 cc engine from Harbor Freight, and that is the Predator 2 engine. That's the Predator 2 engine. And the reason that this engine was mounted on here, because of course it was compatible, but the previous engine seized up, and here is the original Power Smart engine that seized up. So as you can see, the mount for the engine matched the snowblower to the T. Didn't have to make any alterations, and we got it done. So with that being said, we're going to focus in on why the snowblower auger isn't spinning. Okay, let's see. We're gonna first look at the impeller. Well, first we're gonna be safe. First, we're gonna disconnect our spark plug. Safety first, always. Where's our spark plug? Okay, here's our spark plug. We're gonna disengage that. Okay, we don't want anything misfiring. Okay, and of course everything is to the off position. So with that being said, let's check out this impeller. Now I'm gonna go in and see, does it spin? And it spins freely. There's nothing in holding it up. The auger they feel solid. No shear pins broken. Housing is solid. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to investigate further by removing the housing over the belt area. So we're going to remove that now, and that takes the tools that I'm going to be using right now to make this fix will be 2 ratchets. You don't need 2 ratchets. I'm just using 2 ratchets, being lazy. One is 13 millimeter. The other one is a 10 millimeter. I don't know if you can see that. That's a 10 millimeter. With both of them have extensions. I have a metal magnetic plate for my screws to keep all my screws, some 10W40, some brake cleaner. I have some anti-seize. I have some needle nose pliers, vice grip pliers. I have a zip tie, and the zip tie will be for the auger pull down knob to hold it in place as I set it. And here's the brand new Power Smart auger belt, and that is the model number. So with that being said, let's get started on the breakdown. Okay, now we're going to try to give you the best possible angle. Now first, what we're going to have to do is remove this cotter pin. The cotter pin holds the auger, or the shaft, which allows the shaft to spin from left to right. We're going to remove that now. Okay. We're going to slide out our handle, set that onto the ground with its cotter pin. We don't want to lose that. Now we will focus on removing the chute from the housing, and the only thing that will require is those are 13 millimeter bolts. So we will grab our ratchet. Okay. Okay. Let's loosen them up. Okay, here they come. Because we can't just take this off without having this in our way. So by removing this frees us up so that we can get at the housing properly. And if the belt is broken, remove it, the old belt, and change it with the new belt. Yes, it is cold out. Okay, we're gonna set these bolts here. Now we're gonna pull up on the housing. It's released. we're going to simply set that down to the ground. Now we are free to take out our bolts to this plastic housing, which are here. I'm going to remove them. Okay. Okay, everything's coming out perfect. Now I'm gonna go on to the other side. And remove the two bolts over here. Okay. Now, if you elect to use power tools, you can. I just choose not to today. And I'm, being a little more methodical. Sometimes you don't want to over torque these screws. All right, now that frees up this plastic housing, which now we will pull up on our unit. Now, because we don't want to remove this here, we will have to kind of twist this out at an angle to free it up from the snowblower itself. And with that being said, I will kind of twist it over, removing the plastic cover, setting that down to the side. Now, investigating, and look at that. Would you look at that? We have a broken belt. See that? Really frayed. Now looking at the other belt and everything else, it appears to be, everything else appears to be in good order. So, with that being said, we will continue to disassemble. Now, the first thing we're going to disassemble at this point, or first we're going to look at the tensioning on the auger pull down lever. And we notice that there isn't any tension. And why that is, and that's because it's not connected. Okay, but let's look. It isn't broken. Okay, the wire is connected. The spring is in place. We have the adjustment. Okay, so we can make those, we can fix that. That's no problem. Okay. Now let's get back onto removing the old belt, because we could just simply try to pull it out, but there are a few things that is obstructing our path. So with this in mind, we're gonna first remove the protective shroud that goes around the belt. Each belt, if you notice here where my finger is, this is a protective like rod, you will, that if the belt, as the belt is spinning, should the belt break and come off, we're not going to have that full force crash into that plastic cover and possibly cause damage. So the manufacturer was thinking when they created this, and that's a good safety precaution on Power Smart. I'm sure it's on other, yeah, it's on other snow blowers, but this is Power Smart right now. So we're gonna remove that. The other belt looks to be in a good working order. And as we always try to do, we try to save. Generally speaking, you want to change both belts. If one is, if one is broken, you want to change the other one. But this particular client wants to, keep things cheap, and I understand that. So we're gonna give them that bargain. So let's go and remove these two. Okay. Now, as I told you before, I changed this engine over myself. And yes, I had to put in washers just to make a few little minor adjustments. So when this connected, nothing would be damaged. Everything will be okay. So now I'm removing these washers on the one side. Okay. Don't want to lose these nuts. Keep everything together. Now I'll go and finish the other side. Okay. Get this off. Now, we always want to keep a rag so we can wipe off. So we can wipe off our gloves and wipe off any dirt or debris. So we got our rod off of the belt. So now we try to see, can we remove the belt? Okay, as you can see, we're pulling the belt up. No pressure, belt comes out. Now look at that. That is our belt. Okay. It said it was a lot of snow, a lot of heavy snow a few weeks ago, I believe. So now let's look. We are, let's see. Okay. Our next step is to see, can we get... First, we're going to investigate, make sure nothing is broken. Oh, we had dropped 2 of our washers. Grab those. Remember, keep the washers together. Okay. Now the next step is, let's see here. Let's see our new belt. We're going to grab our new belt and see, can we tuck it into this spacing. I don't think we can, but nothing beats a try. So now our new belt, okay, it's kind of tight. Hopefully we don't have, oh, yep. We're gonna have to go a little further with our disassembly. Okay, no problem. We're built for this. So we're your local handyman. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do now is release the tension on this pulley. This pulley here, I'm gonna release this tension. Okay, set this to the side because we're gonna come back to that. That's gonna release that bottom pulley arm. I'm gonna set the belt there temporarily. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our 13mm ratchet and we're going to remove these bolts here. You're going to see the unit open up. It's kind of split in half, so to speak. Now, let's see here. Okay, and these are lot washers, so you don't have to worry about them coming off. Through vibration, which is a good feature. Okay. Now, set this to the side. Side our bowl. We want to keep our nuts and bolts together. Take off this next one. Okay, almost. Okay, we got it off. Okay, Set that to the side. Now we're going to remove the bolts on this side of the snowblower. Okay, that one is loose. Take that one off. Last and final one. Now, some people may ask and say, well, isn't there a cover plate on the bottom? Yes, there is a cover plate on the bottom. It's plastic. Came with 4 screws. I guess the homeowner took it off himself, and we will get that back together. I guess he tried to look at it. Okay, it's always that one screw or nut. But we're gonna get it, because patience is our virtue. Okay, now the last nut. Get that nut. Okay, hold on to the snowblower because you don't want it to just fall apart. Most of the time it won't, but for safety reasons, always maintain a hold on it. Now the front half, what we're going to do is we're going to grab this bar. We're going to grab this bar right here on the snowblower. We're going to grab this bar and hold it with one hand so it doesn't fall over when we separate the 2 halves. Now, this front half will separate from this back half, and the separation will be right there. If you can see, there is my separation. I'm gonna continue to pull the pieces apart. Okay, now allowing that front end to rest on the ground, and the back end I'm going to temporarily set to the side. Now it will stand up as such. If you're doing this by yourself and no children are around, you can get away with doing it like this, because it makes it easier with assembly. Okay, now let's get this pulley on. Okay, now we will flip this forward onto the front of the housing. As such. And what we're going to do real quickly, we're going to wipe a lot of that debris and dirt off of here. We want this snowblower lasting that much longer. Proper maintenance. Okay. Now, what we will do, and this is the reason why earlier I mentioned about the pulley, that we would not be able to get that pulley off because of this protection piece. It keeps the pulley in line, or the belt in line with the pulley. So we wouldn't have been able to do it that way on this particular model. Another good feature. You want that belt to stay locked in where it's going. Okay, now what we're going to do is going to get that belt on there. We're going to move this pulley over. Put our new belt on. Allow the pulley to be placed back on. And so now that belt will be locked on there at that angle so we can still operate. What we want to do is, because we took those screws off, those nuts off, we want to put some anti-seize around there. We want this unit, should we need to change things, to be able to come out. We don't want those nuts and bolts rusting up on us. So this is where the anti-seize comes in at. Just a little bit, not a lot. A little goes a long way. Okay. So we go around, okay, with threads. Because like I say, we want this unit lasting a long time. Of course, we had to make one modification, which was changing the engine. But it happens. I don't know that the homeowner followed the exact specifications of the manufacturer, and that's why the engine seized up. But I do know that we were able to replace it with that Predator 2 engine. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna look it over, and we're gonna stand the halves up and try to marry the two pieces together while maintaining the belt on here. Yes, sometimes you can need 2 hands or 4, but we're gonna make 2 do. Okay. Now we're gonna turn up our front part in line with, we're gonna marry the two, or we're gonna go back to our marriage between the front end and the back end of the snowblower. Okay, we guide them in ever so carefully. Okay. Now we're almost there. Now we have to pull up on the pulley, place the pulley onto the pulley that's here on the motor. Okay. Now try to it's a balancing. Okay, we got those screws lined up. Okay, now we get success. So now we can lean them in. Let's hurry up and grab our nuts. And put everything back together. Our belt is lining up where it's supposed to be. Okay. So let's get those bolts back on there. Okay, we got our anti-seize on there already. And make sure you take your time and thread them on just right. You don't want to strip these out. You don't want to replace them. We'll go hand finger tight. We're gonna try to get this done and ready because we are supposed to be getting some snow in a few days, and we want our homeowner to be prepared. Now let's get these two on this side. We won't tighten those all the way up. Okay, let's see, we might be able to do away with that. Oh, righty tighty. Switch my lever over. Okay. Pulling me in tight. Okay, we're going to continue to tighten this up. But again, not too tight. We're going to go to the opposite side now. Okay, now we will tighten up and add, or we will add and tighten up these nuts here. Okay. Okay, that one's on. The next one, and no, I'm not sponsored by Power Smart or Harbor Freight or any of those. This is handyman work. Okay, Let's see, now we're going to drive these in. Nice solid unit too. Good construction. If the average homeowner followed the exact specifications of the manufacturer, some of these machines would last for 10, 15, 20 years almost. Yeah, you have to change a few parts out here or there. That's good construction. We're not going to over torque those nuts. We're going to put them in tight. Okay, here are the last two. Let's tighten these up. Okay, now that's tight. Now let's see, we have to put our spring back on, the pulley tensioner. Let's see if we can get it in there. All right, it's in there. Pull it. All right, it's tight. So now what we want to do is we want to pull it to the back. We pull, see, we pull the wire taut. We put the spring back in place. Now we're pulling this wire, which runs the extension of the snow blower, coming into the back. So now we want to focus on hooking that up. Okay. Make sure there won't be any obstructions. And it appears that everything is set. Now, these two pieces marry up together. Let's see if you can see that. It's basically a twist in, and the arm twists in a certain way and locks like such. Now we're going to focus. We have that attached, but there is no tension on it. So now what we're going to do is come around to our tensioner for our cable. We're focusing in on it so we can see it together right there. So what I will do is turn the screw up, releasing it. So now I can turn this counterclockwise, which brings tension on my line. Continue to tighten it, but you don't have to over tighten it. You just want it enough that when you engage the auger arm, it will engage. Okay. Okay, we got tension. Okay, let's go a little more. And like I say, these parts are easy to replace either by Power Smart company themselves or Amazon. Okay, now if we look, we have tension reestablished for our auger. So now let's come around and we're gonna see if I can show you as I depress the lever. You can see the pulley being brought in and tensioning down on the pulley, which is making that lock in, and that's going to spin that drive, or excuse me, that's going to spin that auger. So now let's go around to the side, the other side, so you can see a better view. Okay, now as you can see, that's a better view of it. So I am going to depress it so you can see. As I depress it, you see the pulley is coming in, engaging the new belt we just installed. Okay, now we're kind of good with that tension. We can always come back and readjust. Now let's continue to finish with our reinstalling everything. Okay, now we're going to focus on our protection arm, which goes right in place over both belts, because remember, it is very important for safety. And what it's going to do also is going to straighten up this pulley that you're looking at that's kind of off to the side, but that's going to get straightened as soon as we put these bolts, these nuts and bolts in. And with that being said, let's grab it. Okay. Now this particular piece, you will notice it fits up into it's like a groove, a round groove in this pulley arm. So we're gonna get this in here first. Then we're gonna get our rod. Let's see if we can wipe that off. Okay, because we don't want any anything getting on our brand new belt, even the old belt. So I'll put that in place. Slide it here. Okay. First one in place. Now take your time screwing and threading that bolt in. As it's not a race, you don't want to strip it out. If it doesn't want to go in, back it out and redo it slowly. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's going in pretty loose. Yep, I like that. You don't have to over torque these. Okay, now we'll go here. Again, take your time, thread it in right. Back it out, thread it in. Okay, we dropped one, but that's okay. We can get it. It was a washer. We got it. Sometimes it's a little difficult, just a little difficult. Nothing we can't overcome. Okay. Every now and then you got that one bolt that wants to act funny. Okay, let's see. Now it's lining up perfect. Oh yeah, see that? And like I say, take your time. You don't have to rush this. Always safety first. Okay, not over tighten him. Go to the next one. Work this together. Okay, now we can tighten this up a little more. Same thing with the other side. And pay attention that everything's aligned, no obstructions. Everything is right where it's supposed to be. Engage that lever. Okay. Now everything seems to check out. We have the belt in place. Now, as quick as it is to want to start this up and try to see what's going on, let's first flip it over into the front side. And we can do that by merely pulling up on the unit. Where we would go forward. Tipping the unit onto its front, and this is safe. You should not have any leaks as long as your screws or your oil caps are tight and your gas cap is tight. And I say oil caps because you do have two. There's one there and there is one there. Now, focusing in on this bottom, and this is where the gentleman told me that he took the bottom plate off. And looking at it, we can see that the friction plate is in good order. Let's see, let's just do a little cleaning in there just to make sure everything is how it's supposed to be. A lot of dirt. Clean this one kind of separate. This is where we use a little of the brake cleaner. Instead of spraying it, we'll just spray it lightly on the rag and just wipe that down from any potential debris. Okay, everything looks good. Now, what we can do is we can spray some 10W40 in here. But what we're going to do, we're not going to get too crazy with it because we don't want that getting onto our friction plate. So what we're going to do is we're going to lightly take our rag and hold it up so that when we spray, we get just a little bit, penetrate those areas it's supposed to be, so we don't have anything seizing up on us. And this will spin back and forth when you engage the drive. See how it pulls up? And it engages. So now we will give that a little spray, because like I say, we want everything to be moving freely on this arm. Okay. Now, okay, we were able to obtain the cover. This is the cover plate. It's plastic, but it does what it's supposed to do, and that's cover up these vital areas. Okay, line up all of the screw holes. Grab our 10mm. I'm gonna put these in. And you don't have to over tighten them. Again, I can't stress that enough. Just enough. You want them, yeah, you want them tight. but you don't want to strip them. You never want to strip these out. Okay, it's in there nice. Okay, now we have one along the side. One on this side. Get that last one. If you like our content, be sure to like and subscribe. Any potential comments, always welcome. Okay, now we're gonna look it over. Even though we are satisfied thus far with everything, we're still gonna look it over. We don't want to miss anything. Okay, that's everything. Now we're gonna stand the unit back up. Okay, setting the unit back up. All right. Now, again, take a visual inspection in order to ensure that everything is hooked up accordingly. The belts, the belt protective rod, the springs, everything. This is not a race to the finish line. This is let's keep this product taken care of for the homeowner. Okay, we're gonna re-engage our levers. Everything engages properly. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide it out just a little bit, and we're gonna start it up. Ensure that there aren't any obstructions in the way or any debris that will get sucked into the impeller. Just do a walk around, survey the area. Okay. Now, what we shall do is we will reinsert our spark plug wire. That's in place. Now we will come around to the back of the unit, and for this Predator 2, you have to engage the bottom fuel source, which is gas. You will also engage the on and off switch, which we will on. Everything is looking good. Now let's go ahead and start it up. Let's give her a few pulls. Let's see. Okay. Let's give her a pull. Got the engine started. Let it run a little bit. Because it's cold out here. We want this engine to warm up a little bit. Okay. Everything looks okay so far. And that is a powerful engine. set everything back into the off position. Now let's finish putting our unit together. Okay, now our cover plate. Now the same way, we will have to align it at an angle so that it can slip in and over. And down, tucks in ever so slightly. Okay, now let's reinsert our cover screws. We have one cover screw here. Again, you don't have to over torque these. Just get them in there nice and tight. Now we will come around to this side and get our nuts back in. That's that one. Let's get our last one in there. We don't have to come back. Okay. Nice and tight, but not over torqued. You don't want to tear this plastic up. I want this plastic to serve its purpose. Okay, now we will reassemble our chute. Grab our chute. Okay. Now before we put this on here, let's put some anti-seize around here so that can spin around easy and we don't have it getting locked up on us when we're shooting all that snow, or the homeowner should I say. Always try to be thoughtful and, you know, keep the homeowner in mind. You know, as they say, do unto others as you would want done unto yourself. So we go that extra mile to make this easier to turn. Now we will insert it, screw in our bolts. bottom one first. Finger tight. Grabbing the second one. Don't forget to grab your rod and cotter pin, because we're going to put that in place. Okay. Now we're going to slide our rod back into place. And it will meet up right there. Okay. Insert the cotter pin. Might have to turn it a little bit. Give it a little bit of... Okay. It's in there. Let's make sure it works. Okay. Okay, good. So now we have a working snowblower. Another completed project. Thank you for stay tuning to the program. Hope I didn't bore you. Like I say, if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget, if you want to comment, hey, I welcome it. Thank you. I'm Michael, your handyman.